This is Everett Fitzhugh, voice of your Seattle Kraken, and you're watching Back to Besa.
Hey guys, Besa Gordon here. Until next time, you already know what I'm going to tell you to do. Have an amazing rest of your day. And of course, keep that energy high.
Welcome to another episode of Back to Besa. I'm your host, Besa Gordon. And as usual, we have a lot to talk about this week. But this time around, it's all about our Seattle Kraken. So, of course, if you haven't grabbed your snacks yet, this is the time to do it. This week on Back to Besa, I head over to the Kraken Community Iceplex just in time for their season home opener with my stylist, Akia Rane, to get some new drip for the Kraken season. I show you all the new foods Climate Collective executive chef Molly D. Demers is bringing to the Climate Pledge Arena this season. We highlight the people behind the scenes at the Seattle Kraken that help create the entertainment on the ice along with community outreach. We introduce you to Seattle Kraken's photo editor, Liv Lyons, who happens to be one of the few black women in sports to hold that title. We catch up with Kraken's first black draft pick, Zachariah Wisdom, plus Traveling While Black tells us what it was like and what they learned at their first Seattle Kraken game. Circling Seattle Sports, Charles Hammaker caught up with the voice Everett Fitzhugh to get his outlook on this year's Kraken season. And of course, we have to talk about events happening around the city you should know about. But first, it's Hot Topics. So in a recent interview with Jason Lee of Hollywood Unlocked, Blueface actually admitted, and I don't know if you admitted this before, but check this out, friend. A few weeks ago, the internet was set on fire when a photo of his son's hernia in his lower parts, if you know what I mean, was posted on Blueface's Twitter. And according to Blueface, he was hacked. Well, Jason Lee actually recently asked him why he posted that, and this is what Blueface had to say.
Why did you post the photo of the hernia? That blew the internet up.
It's taking way too long.
For her to get care.
Yeah. I agreed to her. Don't come back into California until you go to that next appointment and it gets done. Time just keeps going. She back in California. I didn't post it till like damn near a month. Then when I had that show where me and her performed, surgery I guess was like at the day of the performance. She's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna tell them to take him and I'm gonna make it. Hell no, you better take that baby and do that.
It's a serious thing.
Yeah, it's serious. It's an expensive baby. Like you can't just. We could do plenty of shows. So that's the reason she went by herself that time. Yeah.
So she wanted to go to the show instead of going to take care of the baby?
I literally told her, no, we're not doing that. You have to do this.
I'm still trying to figure out when it actually came out that he decided to post it and he wasn't actually hacked, but I digress. Now, as you may have noticed, Doja Cat has been bald for a while, and in a recent interview with Hot Ones, she actually talked about why and how free that she feels with not having any hair on her head.
We'll never know the feeling. What to you so far has been the most welcome benefit of going bald?
So, what I like most about it is I can focus on what I'm wearing and less about my hair.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been able to I don't know, it's just like hair is it's a whole other world. It's a whole other situation. It's like you gotta braid it and pigtails and shit like that. It's like, fuck that. I could just do a cute outfit and be bald. Like, there's a hella bad bitches that are bald in this world. Like, why would I have to do hair all the time? This is not so bad after a while.
Right, once you kind of settle into it. And,
Not gonna hold you, Doja Cat. Totally feel you with that one because sometimes this hair can be a little bit much, and every once in a while, I wish that I could just walk out the house and mind my own business too. Now, with the Kraken home opener earlier this week, it was time for me to take a trip to the Kraken Community Iceplex in Northgate and stop by the team store with my good sis and stylist, actually, Akia Rane, to literally refresh my wardrobe and get my Kraken drip on point. Here's how it all went down.
Hey guys, Besa Gordon here. I'm with my girl Akia, and right now we are at the Kraken team store. And dude, I know I got on my Kraken gear right now, but it's a new season, so this time around we are about to get all dripped out for this season. You ready?
Heck yeah, let's go there.
Let's do it.
A medium, kind of oversized. It looks cute with your jeans you're wearing now. Let me see. Yes. I love this color on you. That's cute. This is another good look. It's definitely puffer season. Let's see. This is a small. This is cute.
And
see?
you know, it be cold in there.
It's icy in there.
It be nippy. So a puffer is
Yeah,
needed.
That's it. I like that. Let's go over here. I want to see this one of these jerseys on you. This makes me want to go to a game for sure.
All right, you guys, as usual, my girl Akia got my drip right. However, it is time for me to show you guys what I got. So let's see. Akia, what do we pick out today?
Yeah, we picked out this dope denim patchwork jean jacket. I love all the different patches, the anchor, the kraken. You got the S on your sleeve. Turn around and let them see the back. And then this detail here, it's distressed. I love it. You're gonna be able to rock that so many different ways.
Absolutely.
We got this dope beanie. I love this color on you.
Now, I know we ended up going with the jean jacket, buoy t-shirt, little beanie, but what were a couple other things that we checked out today that you also liked?
I love that three-way puffer jacket.
That was cute.
It was fitted, it looked dope on you, and just perfect for the season. I love that Filson Kraken hoodie.
That
the
was
quality
nice.
was supreme. It was thick, you could use that as a coat. I thought that was a good one. So if you need to come back and grab a couple more things, I think those two were awesome. And of course that jersey.
That
We talked
jersey
about
was a
rocking
moment.
that with some shorts and some thigh-high boots
Yes.
to make it a little something.
Little vibey.
To give it a little base of business.
Absolutely.
So those are my favorites.
I want to thank Akia for always getting my drip right. I want to thank the Seattle Kraken for always being a vibe. I also really got to thank the Seattle Kraken store for having all of the fits, all of the jerseys, all the puffers, the hats, the scarves. There were even some stuffed animals in there, okay? Like, it's nice in here. So definitely make sure you guys pull up so that way you can get dripped out for the season. And of course, you'll see me at the games.
I look fly. I look good. Don't you agree? I know I do. Big thank you to everyone at the Kraken Team Store for helping me out. And of course, my girl Akia for keeping my look on point. Now, with that being said, we are officially looking good and feeling good. So, dude, we're off to our first commercial break. But when we come back, I connect with Kraken Executive Chef Molly D. Demirs at the Climate Collective Food Sneak Peek. To Back2Besa, it's time for Backstage Pass powered by Quantum Fiber. So, you already know your girl loves to eat and eat good. So, when my buddy, Climate Collective Executive Chef Molly D. Demirs personally invited me to the Climate Collective Food Sneak Peek at Climate Pledge Arena last week, you already know I was on the way. The sneak peek was an opportunity for me and media from all over to see and eat all of the new stuff on the menu in the pledge this season, including flying ant salsa, pork belly cinnamon rolls, impossible burgers, salmon salads, and more. Check it out. We are here at the 2023 Kraken Food Season Preview. And right now I got Chef Molly with me. What can the Kraken fans expect that will fill their bellies?
First of all, I feel like this is our year, not just for the Kraken defending the deep, but for us as a program. Like, we're starting to get our own. We're opening up a new street taco concept where we're making the tortillas in-house, and we're introducing our new protein, which is flying ant salsa. Huge. All these other countries have completely understood the assignment by eating protein outside of animals, and it has the smallest carbon footprint, uses the smallest amount of resources.
Okay, that's the vibe.
One of the other big things I'm excited about is cinnamon roll pork belly. We've taken the dough out, and where the dough was, we put pork belly. And I'm telling you, it is fire. We want it to be playful, we want it to be fun, and we want it to be an experience. For example, right, our bacon cotton candy. We are introducing cotton candy in the arena, and it's all made in-house. Whether you're having foie gras cotton candy or traditional strawberry cotton candy, we're making those with preservatives that we've made in-house, jams we've made in-house, and they are fire.
Dude, you always have so many amazing things when
Thank
it comes.
you.
Like, I thought my mind was blown last year with the mac and cheese. I cannot wait to tap into what we have here today.
Dude, it's fun and people, it's genuine, it's grassroots, and it's real, and there are real people behind these stands, and you're gonna get to meet a lot of them this year. And I think when people start leaning into who they are and the genuineness of it, opposed to what they're used to seeing, that's when things blossom. Everyone at our table has a voice, and that's what we need. We need people to start leaning into their true root.
You guys are like really changing the game with the different foods that you can enjoy while you're at these games.
We try to step out of the box the best we can here, yeah.
I love it. So you have healthy options, you have a little greasy options, but this, my birthday's coming up, so I need more of these.
Honestly, cooking for the people and then hearing the feedback that comes from it. How awesome it was, how good of a job we did, and that right there is my motivation.
Do they come this size?
No, that is a small size, just for the media day tasting. So it's normally
big.
it's a big old burger.
Like, is it a shareable burger?
I mean, yeah, you can share it, but
Why would you?
You wouldn't want to.
Got a little jalapeno ranch and buffalo wing wrapped in rice paper just for a little extra crunch.
Our product is a raised product, so it's like using yeast. So it's live and it's working as we're making it. So it's just the nature of the type of product we do, but we're really proud of the outcome, and I think from your reaction, it looks like you liked it. So.
I love it. Do you guys have any signature donuts that people should know about?
Yeah, so at Climate Pledge, we're doing our donut holes with a blue dipping sauce for our Kraken games. And then for all concerts and events, we do a white dipping sauce. But at our shops, we have a shop in Cap Hill in West Seattle, and we do 16 different donuts there every day.
This is your home, okay? We built this together. This year, we're defending the deep. I can't wait to see you at Climate Pledge Arena. Get here, let's go!
I love it.
Thank you so much to Chef Molly D. Demers and all the other great chefs that I met at the sneak peek. When I tell you your girl ate good, you better believe it. Some of my favorites were the Impossible Burger. Not gonna hold you, child. I still can't believe that was not meat, by the way. The salmon salad, the pork belly cinnamon rolls, and don't sleep on the flying ant salsa and the donuts either. You will definitely find me trying all the foods this season. Now it's time for another commercial break, but when we come back, we're uplifting new Seattle Kraken photo editor Liv Lyons on her journey in sports photography, shooting some of Seattle's biggest teams. Welcome back to Back2Besa. Right now, we're going to spotlight and uplift photographer and new Seattle Kraken photo editor Liv Lyons, one of the few Black women in America to hold the photo editor position, not only in the NHL, but across all major professional sports. Liv's rise has been rapid, as it was just about 18 months ago that she started shooting the Seattle Mariners games for Circling Seattle Sports. But it didn't take long for teams to notice her talent, and earlier this year, Liv was contacted by Major League Baseball to shoot the All-Star game, and now she has found a home with the Kraken. Here's her story.
Hi, my name is Liv Lyons, and I'm the Seattle Kraken photo editor. My journey here today started with Converge Media, actually. It started back in 2022 during baseball season. I had the opportunity to photograph the Seattle Mariners on behalf of our outlet and our community there, and work alongside the Circling Seattle Sports show that we've got, and just provide our own original content and images for the platform. From Mariners, it turned into OL Reign and Seattle Sounders, going through 2020 to this year, 2023. I was approached by MLB to be one of their photographers for the All-Star game and for All-Star Week, as well as having the opportunity to be one of the Seattle Storm team photographers this summer as well. Photographing hockey is like no other sport that I have had the pleasure to be able to cover professionally or otherwise. It's definitely the fastest sport that I've had to cover. And whether I'm down by the ice or up here on the concourses, the action is absolutely palatable. Though my favorite spot is to be right there alongside the ice, and it's pretty straightforward. You just got to remember to be faster than the puck. You've got a little slide-in door, nothing's going through it, nothing's coming through it, and it's very surreal because the action's right there. And basically, when I'm photographing, all I want to do is make sure that folks who are seeing my pictures feel like they're right there. They're like they can feel the rush of the ice. They're right next to the action. And I also try to amplify those elements when I'm editing on behalf of the team and sending those images off. I've got a couple different organizations that I affiliate with. In the past, I started off with Black Women Photographers. This is an amazing organization that helps to create a directory as well as educational resources and uplift Black women photographers like Amanda J. Kane, who was up till recently the team photographer for the San Jose Sharks hockey team. She was the first Black woman photographer for an NHL team, and she has now moved on to a new role, but we still talk. I consider her to be a wealth of resource and a mentor for me. I believe firmly that it's a great thing for folks to see themselves, see how they identify, see someone that they identify similarly to or as. I think the Seattle Kraken do a really good job of authentically representing different folks and different groups. I think if I could speak to that little black girl, you know, staring at the computer screen, staring at a magazine or newspaper, I just want her to know that there's room for her too. That it's possible for her to also show up in the photo well, show up on the sideline, show up in front of the star, the story, whatever it is. There's room for her to be there and to tell that story, to evoke that emotion, whatever she's trying to do, that there is room.
Big shout out to Liv Lyons. Girl, you are doing it, and we are so proud of you. And the example that you were setting for those little black girls that want to pick up a camera. Representation matters, and you are representing well. You can follow Liv on IG at _Liv Lyons. You saw the voice of the Kraken, Everett Fitzhugh, kick off the show, and earlier this week, Circling Seattle Sports' Charles Hamaker caught up with the voice to get his outlook on this year's Kraken season. Here's Chuck.
Hey Besa, we're here at Climate Pledge Arena. I'm here with my good friend, the voice of Kraken hockey, Everett Fitzhugh. Everett, give us a little rundown. What are we looking at year 3 of Kraken hockey?
And this is going to potentially be the best year yet for Seattle. You're coming off of a historic playoff run. Your core largely intact from last season. You bring back the Calder Award-winning Rookie of the Year in Matty Beniers. Andre Burakovsky, a big piece who's back. Goaltender Philip Grubauer had a phenomenal playoff series as well. So for Seattle, I'm expecting more of the same. A lot of teams around the league, they make those big moves. You mess up, you upset the apple cart, if you will, right? Seattle didn't do that. They trusted that core. They kept that core in place. A lot of vets on this team. They add a few more veteran pieces on the outside with a Brian Dumoulin who comes in, Kyler Yamamoto, Pierre-Edouard Bellemare. So you bring in some good pieces to help support that cast. For the most part, this is going to be a good year for Seattle, I think.
So things are looking good, despite what's going on early.
Yeah.
And so you're not worried about it yet.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm at like a 0.5 right now. I am perfectly fine. We got 78 games to go. It's a long season, right? This is a long season. This team's going to be just fine.
From Climate Pledge Arena, I'm Charles. This is Everett.
Back to you, Besa.
Thank you, Fitz and Chuck, and I agree. There was a lot of season left to play, so let's not be too put off by the Kraken's rocky start. You can follow Circling Seattle Sports on Twitter at Circling Sports. It's time for another commercial break, but when we come back, we're taking a look at some of the Kraken back office team members who are making a difference daily in the organization. You're watching Back to Besa. welcome back to Besa. So we all know the fast-moving action on the ice when the Kraken are in play. But we thought we would take a look at some of the people who work behind the scenes of the Kraken organization that keep you entertained in Climate Pledge and keep the Kraken connected to the community across our region.
Hi, my name is De'Ara Anderson, and I'm the Senior Manager of Brand Communications and PR for the Seattle Kraken.
Hi, I'm Lamont Buford. I'm the Vice President of Entertainment and Experience for the Seattle Kraken.
Hi, I'm LJ, and I am Seattle Kraken's Service Desk Administrator.
Hi, I'm Kyle Boyd, Director of Fan Development for the Seattle Kraken.
Right now we are at the headquarters or the home of the Seattle Kraken. So the Kraken Community Iceplex is where our offices are, where we do all of our work, but it's also where the team practices. But then it also doubles and really, I would say first and foremost, a community center.
There's a lot going on here at Kraken Community Iceplex. I think one of the things that we figured out really early on was that it would be important to build really authentic connections and authentic relationships with community members, making sure that people knew the story of the Thunderbirds, the Silvertips, the WHL hockey that had been here. We decided kind of to build a lot of our programming around kids and community, whether that was developing curriculum that worked really well with school partners, YMCA, Boys and Girls Club. Getting kids to actually play the game was really key.
You know, just like you mentioned, with all sports, you have your traditions, but especially with hockey. But we had to try to find out, you know, what is it that makes Seattle and like what makes it a good tradition for the Seattle Kraken. Just getting to the game and seeing the game, it is something that's so unique and so different that you don't truly get an appreciation of it until you're actually able to see it live. I wish it was a sport that more people actually gravitated to, because it is one of the best sports out there.
I grew up playing hockey. I grew up just outside of Minneapolis, Minnesota, played the game my whole life and always had a passion for it. I went to college, university, actually studied, became a history teacher and was teaching locally at a high school here called Lakeside High School. Went to a public skate one day and bumped into Kraken leadership who asked me my thoughts on kind of how we can get more people into hockey and expand, and kind of that led to one coffee and further conversations after that. It's been 3.5 years working with the team. I started really focused on building out our youth and community-based programming. So back then, we didn't have a name, we didn't have a brand, we didn't have a team, we didn't have games. We were known as NHL Seattle, and a big part of my job was getting out into community and introducing hockey to as many folks as possible.
So I got out of the Army in March of 2022, like I said, and I didn't have a job for a few months. It was like 4 months, and I moved to Dallas. Didn't really like it. Came back. Sean Rollins, which is our director for IT, he messaged me on LinkedIn. He was like, "Hey, we have this position open. You should apply." I looked at your LinkedIn profile, and I was like, "Okay." It's hard to translate military experience to civilian experience. And Sean is a veteran, so he really came through for me and just opened that door. And I went through 6 interviews. I moved back here, finished my interviews, and here I am. I am the first line go-to for any issues that users encounter. I'm your go-to for literally anything and everything IT related. Maybe it's just here, but the energy in the arena, just how excited everyone is. If the energy is good, I'm there. I want to be there.
I moved here from New York. I'm a former Navy brat, so my dad was in the Navy growing up. Originally from Ohio, born in the Midwest. When I was living in Carolina, I was in high school, had a best friend who really loved the Carolina Hurricanes. And I was like, I don't really understand hockey. I think I was only 14, 15 at the time. We played softball together, and she really wanted me to go to a game, but I wasn't really, I was like, nah, I don't get hockey. But I went with her anyway, and I always say I don't know what happened. I went to that game, and I left a hockey fan. It was just fast-paced. They were fighting on the ice. It was crazy. The pucks were flying, everybody was really excited. The crowd was really excited. Just this atmosphere that I had never experienced before in a professional sports setting. And I really was drawn to it. So after that, I became a hockey fan. I begged my dad to buy the NHL package for my 16th birthday. He bought it for me. I got to watch as many hockey games as I wanted to. Started picking teams that I wanted to follow. So I was really a fan. I was working in college hockey, doing social media, doing some operations stuff, running the music at games, low-level things. But I was really into it, and I had a professor that really believed in me and told me that I'd probably be really good at doing PR at some point later. And I learned from her and realized, okay, maybe I should go to school one more time, learn a little bit more about PR specifically before I go in. So did grad school. While I was there at grad school, I actually started a communications program for their men's ice hockey team. So next thing you know, I was graduating, did a couple years doing tech PR for a while, but NHL was always on the mind. This job opened up, and interviewed, chatted with my boss a couple times and a bunch of other people. She likes to tell everyone that my resume was one of 576, and she picked mine. Super exciting, but I'm also really humbled to be a part of this program and knowing that our executives and my boss, our CMO, really trust and believe in the work that I'm doing and gives me sort of the freedom to go off and do things. So whether it's being the voice of a project or grabbing people to do interviews and writing their talking points, it feels really good to know that I can do that.
Hockey is one of those sports that I kind of stumbled into. I originally, when I started working back in 2000 with the Hershey Bears, I was honestly just looking at it as an opportunity to open a new arena in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and to be a part of their control room. I still didn't know anything about hockey, but all it took was one time, seeing it one time live, and I was hooked. I grew up in Virginia. Played football, basketball, ran track. Those are the sports that people in our community that look like me. That's what they really know. Getting that opportunity to see an actual hockey game live, yes, they do fight, but it was grace and beauty all on ice skates, and I'm like, how in the world are these people able to do this? It's the most athletic sport I've ever seen. My job entails, I guess what I try to tell my mom and try to explain it to my mom is that my job entails me and my team. Our goal is to make every fan that comes to a game have a fun experience. So that way you are ready to cheer from start to finish. And the little things that we ask you to do at the very beginning of the game, we're able to cash in at the back end of the game when the boys need it the most, is that final push to get them all the way to the end of the game. We get to be around the sport every day. It's right there in our backyard. We're not having to go. It's accessible for us if we want to go out and play. It's just one of the coolest things. Just working in sports period is always cool. So I just enjoy it. I don't think I've ever really gone to work. I get to go have fun and hang with friends and just come up with some cool stuff.
Yeah, it's been awesome to be a part of this organization from very early on and really see it grow. I remember when there were 30 of us, 40 of us, and like I mentioned earlier, there wasn't an arena yet, there wasn't a team, there weren't games on TV. We're really doing things differently at the Kraken. I think that's one of the things that we talk about a lot and that we really are committed to, not just coming into the league and obviously doing well in terms of the on-ice product, but really making sure that we're building a brand and an organization that everyone in Seattle feels like they can cheer for, root for, be a part of. And so that's what I really love about the job.
I like that I have a voice. My opinion matters. Everyone here works as a team.
We are looking for good people here. I think it starts with, are you a good person to begin with? Are you gonna gel and mesh in this culture where we're trying to make each other better every day? We want more people out on the ice who look like us as well. But here at the Kraken, we're just looking for the best people. And it just so happens that all of these people of color and all these women are super talented and they know what they're doing and they are the best people for the job and we want them. We're grabbing them.
As you can see, there are a lot of great and highly qualified people working behind the scenes at the Seattle Kraken, ranging from communications, IT, entertainment, and community outreach. Dearia, LJ, LB, and Kyle are just a few of the team members that make up the incredible Kraken organization, which, although just a few seasons old, is leading the NHL in so many ways. We're off to another commercial break, but when we come back, we introduce you to Zachariah Wisdom, who made history earlier this year as the Seattle Kraken's very first Black draft pick. Welcome back to Back2Besa. Like I said before the break, the Seattle Kraken made franchise history earlier this year when they drafted Zachariah Wisdom in the 7th round, making him the Kraken's first Black draft pick. Wisdom comes from a family of ice hockey standouts. His older brother, Zayd Wisdom, was drafted in 2020 by the Philadelphia Flyers. We caught up with Wisdom as well as Lenny Childs, who is an assistant ice hockey coach at Union College, as well as the voice of the Kraken, Everett Fitzhugh, a few months back during the Kraken development camp. Here's Zach's story.
Wiz is awesome. I coached against him 2 years ago when I was in USHL, and when we got to this camp, it was something cool to see because he's an unbelievable kid. You want to be around him, salt of the earth, the players love him, and obviously he's a really good hockey player.
So today we are at Kraken Development Camp. This is an opportunity for our coaching staff, our organization, and our fans to get a good look at the Kraken draft picks, non-drafted camp invitees, basically the future of the Seattle Kraken.
I think, like, obviously look at the draft picks with Shane Wright and Chalet, like, those are guys that, they got picked there for a reason, and top-notch players, but also at the end of the day, top-notch people.
So I think for me a big one is going to be Edward Shala, who is the number one pick for Seattle this year. A guy named Jacob Melanson, who was drafted by Seattle a few years back. He's making a lot of big strides. Ty Nelson making a lot of big strides. Shane Wright, who was the number 4 overall pick last year for Seattle, had some time here with the Kraken this past year, was in Coachella Valley as a part of their Calder Cup playoff run. So there's a lot of big names, but I think for me, a guy named Zachariah Wisdom. He is the first Black draft pick of the Seattle Kraken, picked up in the 7th round this season. He's a heavy kid. He plays the game really, really well. His backstory is amazing. His brother was drafted by Philadelphia. So selfishly for me, I'm going to be looking pretty close at Zach and seeing how he does. But this is, like I said, all about the future of the Seattle Kraken. Who are going to be the names and who are going to be some of the jerseys folks are going to be wearing 3, 4, 5 years down the road.
I was bawling. I was crying. I can't even lie. I was crying. It was very emotional to see my mom cry. Just having a couple of family members there, but my mom, she kind of broke down. That made me break down in tears. So it was nice. Can't even put into words, man. She said, "I'm proud of you." That's all I needed to hear, really. I'm proud of you, and that's all she could get out, really. She was choked up.
Struck me the most about Coach Childs this week is he was so invested in learning, and he wanted to learn. And I was talking to him the other day, and he said, I came in here thinking I was going to take maybe a few pages of notes, and I already have like a War and Peace, Moby Dick fat novel already of things that he's going to take back with him.
Back of the hand hit, back of the hand hit, here we go. Yep, back of the hand, yep, back of the hand, yep, back of the hand. There you go, Thorts. We got Rhodey. Hey, so Thorts, you're going to take Rhodey. You're going to take Rhodey here, all right? It's been honestly probably one of the best weeks of my coaching career, just being a part of this organization. Ron Francis walked by me numerous times saying, "Lenny, how's everything going? We're happy to have you here." So it just really speaks to what the values and the culture of the organization is, and they carry that out every single day with every single person. It's great to be a part of.
We talk so much here in Seattle about how, unlike the NFL, NBA, these guys take a few extra years to get ready to get more seasoning, but you can already start to see who's going to be here sooner rather than later.
It's a dream come true. Like, I mean, I'm out there. I mean, it's tiring out there. I mean, it's been a while since I've been on the ice, but man, like, I'm just smiling. It's cool to think about once in a while, but at the end of the day, like, I'm here to work, right? Like, I'm here to crack a lineup. I'm here to make an impact for this organization. So, I mean, it's cool. You know what I mean? Like, it's awesome, and like, but I'm here to work, and I'm here to put on the Kraken jersey one day and play an NHL game, right? I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna prove somebody wrong. At the end of the day, like, I'm gonna come in here and do my job, and I'm just gonna try and represent the black community as best as I can out here, man.
Zach has a long road to Climate Pledge ahead of him, and hockey as a whole is a sport that has several development levels. But if all goes well, in a few years, we will see Zach in the Pledge playing for our Seattle Kraken. But for now, he's hitting the books and the ice at Colorado College. It's time for another commercial break, but when we come back, it's time for events to know about, and we check in with Traveling While Black as they relive their very first experience at Climate Pledge Arena and their first Seattle Kraken game. Welcome back to Back2Besa. It's time for events to know about, where I tell you about all the dope events happening around the city you don't want to miss out on. First up,
Saturday, October 21st is the Staying Live Disco at Supernova Seattle.
Tuesday, October 24th is DJ Co-op at 547 East 44th Ave. Friday, October 27th, Life's Crazy Tour, Seattle, Washington Spook Fest is happening over at Spook Fest. Friday, October 27th is also the Silent Party Seattle Halloween Bash, R&B versus Trap Essentials edition at Boombox Bar. Saturday, October 28th is the Halloween Costume Party max capacity at Lady Luck Cowgirl Up. Tuesday, October 31st is Radiant Heart Song Circle Tuesday at Bridge and Enrich Live Society. Wednesday, November 1st is the 2023 Tri-Cities Job Fair at Evergreen Cultural Center. Saturday, November 4th, Hilo presents the Very Good Food Tour, Seattle at Keeling. Wednesday, November 15th is the next open mic at Hard Coffee. Saturday, November 18th is Real Talk, a charity gala at West Loon Group. And Tuesday, November 28th is the information and networking event Mental Health at Chilliwack Cultural Center. Now that's it for this week's events to know about, but if you know of an event I should shout out next week, send an email with the details to Back2Besa at wherewecconverge.com. So now that you got the scoop on the events, it's time to tap in with Marley and Anthony Love from the show Traveling While Black as they relive and rate their very first visit to Climate Pledge Arena and their first Seattle Kraken game.
Hey, what's up, Besa? We're back again, but this time we're gonna switch things up a bit.
Yeah, we wanted to contribute to the Kraken theme, so we want to show you what we learned about the local franchise when we went to attend our very first game last year.
Yep, no surprise that we had a blast. And our experience didn't just make a fan out of us, but apparently some others as well. So, without further ado, take a look at our TWB-approved Kraken experience. Even though Seattle has never had an NHL team prior to 2018, the city does have a rich hockey history. The history that began with a team named the Metropolitans defeating the Montreal Canadiens in 1917 to become the first U.S. franchise to win a Stanley Cup. Yes, the Stanley Cup existed before the NHL.
Once the NHL was in existence, the city had multiple unsuccessful bids for an NHL franchise. 1974 was the first and the closest attempt, with the NHL awarding an expansion franchise to the owner of the Seattle minor league hockey team, the Totems, Vince Abbey.
How close? The league actually planned on launching the new franchise in 1976, but unfortunately, Abbey could not pay the $6 million expansion fee, so the offer died.
The next chance came in 1990 when ex-Totems coach Bill McFarland, future Mariners owner Chris Larson, and a group headed started by Bill Ackerley, the son of the owner of the Seattle Supersonics, would make another bid.
The story goes, Bill addressed the NHL's Board of Governors without his partners, and in a move never explained, pulled the group's bid off of the table and bounced out the back door.
Finally, in 2018, the NHL announced that Seattle would join as the league's 32nd team, and in July of 2020, the franchise announced their team name, the Seattle Kraken.
Last year, we headed to Climate Pledge Arena and checked out the home team Seattle Kraken take on the Toronto Maple Leafs. It was our first time in the arena that claims to be the most progressive, responsible, and sustainable arena in the world. It also looks pretty dope on the inside.
We even grabbed some Kraken gear so to submit our Kraken fandom. And even though the game didn't turn out in the home team's favor, we still had a blast. Another great thing we noticed at the game was a diverse representation throughout the arena and franchise.
As a matter of fact, the Seattle Kraken made history by debuting the first all-black television broadcast crew to call an NHL game. So obviously, Kraken games are TWB approved.
Yes, you can check out our full experience in our Seattle Kraken episode, number 86, at our YouTube channel, Traveling While Black, and at our TikTok page at TWB Seattle.
And we're going to be back to another Seattle Kraken game, and we hope to see you there. But until next time, beautiful people, stay up, stay true, and do you.
Thank you, Marley and Anthony. I agree with your rating and look forward to catching up with you at a Seattle Kraken game this season. You can follow Traveling While Black on IG at TWB Seattle. We're off to our last commercial break, but when we come back, it's time for Affirmation of the Week. Welcome back to Back2Besa. Each week we like to end the show with an affirmation, and because this week's episode is all about the Kraken, I wanted to do one for my athletes. This week's affirmation is, I am disciplined and committed to my goals. But thinking about it, that's a good affirmation for all of us out there. We can and only will reach our goals by staying committed to them and taking disciplined steps towards them. This episode highlighted so many different people on and off the ice who are literally at the top of their game because they are committed and dedicated to their personal and professional success. Now that's it for this week's episode of Back2Besa. If you have anything you want me to know about, shoot me an email at back2besa@whereweconverge.com and catch me in Seattle on Hits 106.1 weekdays 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. and in Portland Saturdays 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Jammin' 107.5. Thank you for watching, and as usual, have an amazing rest of your day, and of course, keep that energy high.